So I'm going to focus on passer rating for a sec. Because Caleb Williams, the best thing he's done this year is not take sacks and not turn it over. But his passer rating, his completion percentage is not good. So Caleb is 24th in the passer rating, behind guys like Penix and Justin Fields. And the Bears are the number 1 team in the NFC. Brock Purdy's been hurt, so this is skewed a little bit, but he's 26th in passer rating. Niners are 9-4. And Mac Jones wasn't top 10 in passer rating when he was in there. Bo Nix is 32nd in passer rating. Now, this is a little skewed because we're including some guys in this count that haven't played a ton of games. Point being is that he's very low on the list. Bo Nix is 32nd in passer rating. The Broncos are 10-2. Now, whereas like guys like Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, who's having a career year, Pat Mahomes, who's still playing really well this year, their teams are not in playoff spots. It's very strange when I look at this. And those are just examples. So what it begs the question, Nick, is I want to frame it like this. There are quarterbacks that you can win with, and there are quarterbacks you can win because of. As I look at that list, I'm thinking to myself, interesting. Like they're not gonna, because don't make no mistake, if these guys had 15 interceptions, it'd be a different story. They're taking care of the ball, which is most important. Jalen Hurts is in that mold as well. Not having a career year, but he's taking care of the ball. There are quarterbacks you can win with, and there are quarterbacks you can win because of, right? Cowboys are winning the games they do win. They're not a winning football team right now. They're not a playoff team right now. They're winning because of Dak Prescott and the weapons he has on offense. When the Chiefs are good, they win because of Patrick Mahomes, right? This year's a little different. Now, these teams, to our point earlier, this might not persist. These teams I just gave, the Bears, the Niners, the Broncos, I forgot, Trevor Lawrence is 38th in passer rating. The Jags are 8-4. So those are examples of 4 teams that are in the playoff mix, but they might fall off. So we'll revisit this in week 16, 17. It may not hold up. But other than scheduling and strength of schedule being a weird year, it's also a weird year from the standpoint is that you're seeing a lot of quarterbacks that teams are like, we're a complete team. We can win with this guy, but we're not winning because of this guy. Mm-hmm. Which one's better? Like if you were building a team, what are you shooting for? Or how do you reconcile this?
I think there's one overarching theme is this is the greatest team sport in the world because you have to have a great team. You have to have great coaches. We said it in the mini pod. Ownership, GM, head coach, quarterback.
Tanner is a real, by the way.
Yeah. You have to – everything has to be strong. That's why it's the greatest team sport in the world. So, I mean, you don't want to win because – okay, like Chiefs. Okay, you say Pat Mahomes, but Pat inherited a team that was the AFC West championship 2 years before he – 1 year when he was a backup to Alex, and I was there the previous year when he wasn't on the roster. They were already AFC West champs. So, he inherited a great team. He's a great quarterback. Going to be a Hall of Famer, 3-time Super Bowl winning champ. MVP, all those different things, but he is a part of a great team. He was not the one. He did take Andy Reid over the edge and win him 3 Super Bowls. Absolutely, great team. Matthew Stafford has been a great quarterback his whole career. Was with the Detroit Lions, one of the best passers in the league. Could not win there. Goes to LA, wins a Super Bowl.
But I'd argue they're still winning because of Matt Stafford.
But at the same time,
they're not just winning with Matt Stafford.
So the answer to what you're looking for is you want to be able to not because but with because
I'm wondering how you're not going to win. So like you can get like just adequate quarterback play and be 10-2 in the NFL.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
wild
because you have a great team. You're not going to win a Super Bowl strictly because of a quarterback. You're going to win because of a great team. I mean, the Super Bowl I won, we didn't win because of me. We won because we had a great team. I stepped in and did my job. And, I had great performances, but
most people would tell you in the NFL, and I think this is a very general point, but I think it's fair, is that college football is very coach-driven, where you got the right coach and they instill discipline and scheme and they can win you games. The NFL is very quarterback-driven, right?
But you have to have great coaches. You have to. You can't win without great coaches.
I know, but it's like I'm still these stats to me are a little baffling.
So let's talk about stats because I'm not a big stats don't tell the whole story. So we were even talking like, all right, passer rating. What is passer rating? Well, that's strictly passing the ball. So formula inputs: completion percentage, passing yards per attempt, touchdowns per attempt, interceptions per attempt, 0 to 158.3 rating.
Does turnovers play into
No, it does not. Or interceptions per attempt. Yeah, so it does. It does.
That's where I think these guys are winning.
So, right. But also the statistics will be lower if these guys are not, though their rating might be lower, it's probably because they're throwing the ball away, dirtying the ball, keeping the ball protected, maybe low and away.
Caleb's an example of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
and they're not putting the ball in harm's way, forcing it. They are learning how to play the game within the team. It's like, hey, if you don't have it, like just throw it away. Let's live to play the next down. We have a great defense, great special teams. We're going to do this together as a team. Just you can really hurt the team. Like the Matthew Stafford last game, up for the NFL MVP, might win the NFL MVP. But those turnovers, probably a big reason why they lose the game. Turnovers are a big momentum shift, especially a pick six, all those being said. And then you got QBR, which takes into effect, passing efficiency, rushing plays and scrambles, sack avoidance, turnovers, and their impact. So
they're probably better. They're probably better in QBR is what you're
0
saying.
to 100. So that being said, if stats always told the story, the Super Bowl champs would be very different than they have been. The Super Bowl champs and the teams that do really, really well and win their conference are great teams, and most of the time, if not all the time, really well coached. That's where Dallas, I think. I circled Dallas because Dak is having a career year, but what's been their issue? And that's to your point. They're winning because of Dak, but they started winning once the defense started playing better.
Yeah.
Dak, and I'm actually opposing your thought. With Dak playing as great as he was, they were not winning. But once the defense started picking it up the slack a little bit of how bad they were playing, they started winning.
I like that. Now, here's the thing. In the
Bring
NFL,
it to me. Let's go.
I just gave an example of the hell's those stats. I just gave an example of the Bears, the Niners, the Broncos, the Jaguars. Those teams, none of them might hold up as we get down the stretch. Like playoff football is a different thing, right? And that was our fear about an example. Indy is like when we get into like a key late season matchup to make the playoffs or get a high seed or an actual playoff game. When they have like key moments in the game, can they go to Daniel Jones and say, we need you to go win this game? That is where regular season is one thing. That like your performance in the Super Bowl. Okay, cool. Your team was good, but the reality is there's going to be moments where those guys that I just said, Caleb Williams, Brock Purdy, Bo Nix, there's going to be moments where those guys all of a sudden have to say, you're going to win this game because of me.
So it's twofold.
And that is where things are going to have to show.
Dude, I think we just put this together in a masterpiece. We had because. Okay, you can win and be great and get to the playoffs with a quarterback that is competent and protects the ball. Okay. Sort of a game manager. Maybe you lose some games during
championships.
But championships, you need great team and a lot more because.
So one of those guys is going to have to step up and be elite.
Someone's going to have to be a because.
Or they're gone.
And that's the thing is a champion and a quarterback, like even, I have to go back to what I know and like the run we made in 17, 18 because everyone was like, I knew that there was going to need to be some because. I knew that it wasn't just going to happen. I knew I had great players. I knew we had great coaches and a plan, but I was going to have to continue to grow, to get up to speed, to get adjusted to the gameplay, the speed at the end of the season, and there would be some because. Mm-hmm. And as a quarterback, you got to put that on your shoulders. But the dangers of a quarterback that is sort of a with guy trying to be it because is you force things and you don't play within yourself. So it's very difficult to do. That's why you don't see not everyone wins a Super Bowl. Not everyone can handle it because there's just a methodology, something within you that takes over where, I don't know, you find a way to play in your subconscious and not your conscious. It could be a whole book, and there probably is books.
We have a thesis here. We've just arrived at a thesis.
This is a book. This is a paper.
This was a working thesis. We've arrived at what it is now, and that is that some of these teams, I just gave examples, Bears, Broncos, Jaguars, some of these teams, as they get down the stretch, are going to have to start, this is good, are going to have to start winning because, not just with, but because of their quarterback.
Yes.
Right? And Ben Johnson, this is why Ben Johnson's a good football coach. Okay, he's not going to win Coach of the Year because Vrabel's going to win it. Vrabel is the guy. What Vrabel has done there, this is a 4-13 football team the last 2 years. They are now 11-2. Ben Johnson's been miraculous, but Vrabel's the Coach of the Year. But Ben Johnson is a fantastic football coach of the Chicago Bears, and this is what he said this week. We are winning right now. This proves our point. We are winning right now despite our passing game. He didn't say quarterback play because that's too much on Caleb. He's saying despite our passing game, right? Not accurate enough, not on time, not finding our first read quickly enough, all those things, right? There's a lot of areas where Caleb has improved, and they're winning with Caleb right now. But Ben Johnson, being the football guy that he is, knows that down the stretch, he's been to playoff. He had a run last year, and like they ended up losing earlier than they expected when he was with Detroit. They lost to the Commanders at home. Ben Johnson knows. Ben Johnson knows basically what Ben said this week is exactly what we just arrived at, is that this is fine. We'll take it. We're 9-3. This is awesome. We're doing great. But in order for us to really get over the top and make a run in the playoffs and possibly compete for a title and beat the Packers and win the division, they still play the Packers twice. Right? I don't know. I would mess that up.
Tanner?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. In order for us to get over the top and win this thing, we're going to have to start winning. He didn't say quarterback. We're going to have to start winning because of our passing game, which means because of our quarterback, which is different than winning with. And that is what's going to take these teams to another level. And it's also why the books look at it and say, that's why the Rams are the favorite to win the Super Bowl. Granted, they have a great record, but they win because they're quarterback.
They have it because.
And we don't know if you can win because you're quarterback. And that's what it takes to win in the NFL. That is a thesis that we've just worked through.
That was like a theoretical. That was a theoretical.
Like I could write. I'm going to write a dissertation.
That's going to be a YouTube clip. And I also, while you were speaking, Ben Johnson, I loved what he said. I agree with you. I think that shows a future of a continued great coach, head coach, future. But I wrote this down. Self-awareness is a key attribute to a great leader and coach, and how you can excel where you lack. Yeah. I think that self-awareness in any aspect of life, but specifically as a coach, is huge. And then being able to look at yourself critically, but not like lose confidence, be like, but I know how to grow and get better, and I know where this is at, and we're going to keep working, getting, you hear 1% better a day, just a little bit better each day. That shows a sign of a great leader and a great coach with a bright future for the Chicago Bears. So good job, Ben Johnson.